Hey, just thought I'd do an update on the old Camaro here. As you see, I got the carburetor off. The old Holly that was on it turned out to be a worn out piece of junk. It needs a full rebuild, but I'm not going to do that because I am not going to run the single plane intake manifold. So I'm going to put a dual plane back on it, and then I'm also going to put a quadrajet back on it. I got a quadrajet that I pulled off the shelf that was manufactured in 70, and that's close enough for me. So that's what I'm going to put back on it. I'm also, while I'm at it, I'm going to update to an ATI distributor, get rid of the points tile. And you see I got a new alternator. The old alternator was charging fine, but the battery or the bearings in it had they were shot and it was making a lot of noise. And I think I'm going to have to replace the water pump too for the same reason. Getting back to the alternator, or getting back to the carburetor, as you can see, it was rich. It was very rich, and it was also flooding. When I took number 2 spark plug out, I had about half a cup of gas run out of the spark plug hole. So that's not good. Let's see, what else have I done. I redid a little bit of wiring. You can see some of this stuff is brand new. We did some of that. The main power wire here was really a real hack job that got done on it. Started it up a couple times and then found out the one of the connectors on it was getting really hot, so I redid that. And let's see, I think that's about it under here so far. All new rubber lines, vacuum lines and stuff like that. Make sure there's no vacuum leaks. Make sure the engine was timed. Worked on the timing, got the cover. Had it running pretty good when it was sitting here in the garage idling. But when it would get out on the road, it wouldn't stay running. It was running so rich and so terrible. You had to keep one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake at a stoplight. It was bad. Got all the exterior lights working. I can show you that, I guess. Except the turn signals. I got to figure out why the turn signals don't come on. But all the marker lights work. Headlights, bright lights work. Tail lights, everything's there. Got all that working. Even got the gauge lights working. Now this is a 69 Camaro, so it is the gauge lights are always very dim on these old cars, so it's not showing up well on camera, but you can see they work. I'm gonna turn the lights out. Yeah. So there you go. Went through the brakes. It's got 4-wheel drums all the way around. I'm not happy with them, so I ordered some parts. I'm waiting for some parts to come in, and I'm gonna go redo those before anybody drives it too far, for safety reasons, obviously. Now, obviously, you see I took off the vinyl top, and the rust was much worse than we expected, but not as bad as it could be. It's pretty bad through here on the drip rail, so it could be worse. And you can see here there is Bondo, and that clearly is not a factory weld, so I am going to assume that at least this top section of the corner panel has been replaced before. Also, I believe the roof under the vinyl tops, this came with a green vinyl top, and it had a black one on it when I bought it. But I believe from the factory there was no paint on the roof under the vinyl top, which is why they rusted out so bad. and probably why whoever replaced the vinyl top painted over it, but there just is no getting around moisture sitting up against metal, whether it's got paint or not. So there is rust to fix that'll get taken care of at a later date as Bondo. And this car would have had lead filler instead of Bondo. That's another way I know body work has been done to it. I did find out it has air shocks in the rear. It's not showing up well. Can't see it on camera because it's dark in here, but just take my word for it. It's got air shocks in the rear. They're probably going to go away and put standard shocks back on it, so I don't have to worry about keeping them pumped up because they do leak after a couple days. They are flat. That's about it so far. Wipers seem to work. I guess the next thing I'm going to work on is going to be, I'm going to take the brakes off. Here's my to-do list on the Camaro. So yeah, I'm going to start taking the wheels off, start taking the brakes, because I'm waiting on the carburetor that I'm getting rebuilt to come back. I sent a carburetor off to a company in Florida that does it professionally. They do a lot better job than I do, so it's worth the money to me. I'm going to get this back running whenever that comes back in. I've got a carburetor on the shelf here, the one in this tote here. That came off my C10, and it was running pretty decent. So after I change the intake manifold, I may go ahead and throw that one on temporarily until my remanufactured one comes back in, just to get it running. But for right now, that's about it. I went in and cleaned the glass. I did wash it, obviously. Interior looks halfway decent. Let me get a light. I vacuumed out the interior and hung one of those moisture control things in it. So we'll need a new steering wheel. I'm going to change this interior to black. This is just too much green for me. Yeah. I might leave the exterior green. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about changing it, maybe possibly to blue like my Camaro in high school was, but I'm not sure. So that's about it. Right now I'm just kind of in limbo waiting on parts to come in, and I'll keep you guys updated next time I actually make some progress on it. It was running halfway decent for a while, and then it just that carburetor just went bad. So all right, I'll keep you guys updated. Talk to you later.